Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. All right, Senator, you go to these classified briefings with your colleagues. Why are Democrats running out of the briefing and screaming that this is a forever war and it's only Wednesday?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just wanted to say that I watched like the highlights that you showed, especially the ship getting blown out of the water. Now, I remember the Iranian generals were saying that our ships were going to end at the bottom of the ocean, and that's theirs. Like, look at that again. It's on the screen right now. Boom. Like, I love it. I mean, so I don't know why we can't be on and just celebrate that. But I guarantee you, every single member of the Congress that you just had there said we can never allow Iran to acquire a nuclear bomb. And now that that's happened now, and now it's made that impossible right now. And then we all agree. They all now say, well, we won't grieve, that the Ayatollah is gone. So, when someone did that and made sure that possible, why can't we as a Democrat just say, hey, I think that's a good thing. I think that the world's safer. I think it's more just. And then I do think we have a possible path for real, true, enduring peace in the region. I will say that. I will acknowledge that, because why they can't, because they've seen that too. And they all know that we can never allow them to have a nuclear bomb, and that it's better that he's been killed. But, because as a Democrat, they're afraid to just agree with Trump on anything at this point. And now, hey, I'm going to agree with that. I'm always going to pick my country over my party, and I'm always going to acknowledge when good things happen. And now we've also forget, that, really the Democratic Party ever since 10/7 has been absolutely wrong about the dynamic in the Middle East now. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Imagine if they were pushed into a ceasefire in the summer of 24. Hamas would still be intact. Hezbollah would be intact. And Iran could have acquired a nuclear weapon by that point. But Netanyahu was able to push through that, broke and destroyed Hamas. Same with Hezbollah, and was able to go after Iran and break them down. And then I was the only Democrat that supported President Trump striking the nuclear facilities last summer. And that made significant severe kinds of damage. Now, here we are, and now we have this regime we just witnessed after they massacred tens of thousands of their young people. And that is a threat on our nation and our American interest in the region. Now, here we are. Now, someone did about it, and now I can celebrate that. And just, when you see how effective that we've had, and now we've also discovered that Iran now just doesn't have a shot to even shoot at this point.
Yep. And I have to say, forget the politics. You sound great. I mean, you sound like completely recovered, sharp as a tack. I just want to make sure everybody realizes that. When you talk to your Senate colleagues, do they say that they have a plan for Iran? Like, do they say, oh, well, Trump did it this way, I would have done it this way? Do they even have a strategy?
Well, I mean, I think so far, I'd also like to remind everybody that the president actually tried to negotiate, multiple opportunities to just drop the nuclear ambitions and just make that, find a new way forward. So, and then that's that. So if you think that they could never allow them to acquire a nuclear bomb, what do you think? Everything has done over the last several decades, treaties, sanctions, negotiations, bringing in other Arab nations in the region to use them as leverage. They all failed.
Yep.
But one thing actually worked. What happened with,
they've tried everything.
Operation Epic.
And so this was the last resort, and we're praying that it's going to work out. More prime time straight ahead. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.